Hey everyone. Hi, my name is Vita Evenson. I'm a carnivore and I've got herpes. And I wanted to come on live and just kind of talk a little bit about some of these questions and comments that I've been getting. Um, uh, One is, why am I carnivore and not vegan? Because the vegan diet is an alkaline diet, and obviously, what the heck are you doing eating all this meat and uric acid? And I want to get to that. And another uh, subscriber asked, where are you? Are you okay? Where have you been? Because I have not been here. So first, I wanted to say that I am pretty much active on my other channel. As you can see, I'm an artist, so I have an art channel. And if anybody's an artist out there wants to learn a little bit about painting, I can help you there. It's Vita Evenson Art. And that channel is growing, and so I've been focused there. And here, I'll get into that a little bit later as to why I just kind of slipped away. So I have from one person who has been making these comments saying, basically, like I mentioned earlier, that you should be on an alkaline diet and not, a vegan diet and not carnivore, because meats have a bunch of uric acid and, they just mess you up. They're going to kill you. They didn't say that. They didn't say that. I have heard that from a lot of people. What? You just eat meat and nothing else, and you're not dead yet? I'm still here. So first of all, I'm going to say my disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I cannot tell you what to do. I do not intend to tell anybody what to do. This channel is not about getting people on the carnivore path or the keto path. It's not about that. This channel is to share what my experience has been, what my pathway from a raw vegan diet, which is where I began, moving through all the different versions and variations of being vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, all the way up till I finally got to the carnivore diet. And the carnivore diet being the diet that has helped me the most. And that is why I am here. I'm sharing my experience. If you are suffering from herpes or anything else, go to a doctor and talk to somebody who can really help you. I'm not that person. I don't know anything. So as somebody here to share my experience, my hope is that I'll be able to help anyone who wants to find a little bit of peace with the herpes outbreaks, and perhaps even more by going keto or carnivore or ketovore, or using an animal-based diet, which is meats and fruits. I mean, we'll just get into that later on, but there are all these different variations, and each of us will find what works for us. So getting started on that, when I began, I started as a raw vegan, and I ate nothing else but fruits, vegetables, soaked nuts and seeds, and sprouted, and dehydrated my food. I wouldn't cook anything. And did my herpes stop? They did. They did. It was great. I felt energized. It was a beautiful experience until the exhaustion of having a live kitchen, having it take days to prepare a meal and having to plan it out, me being like an ADHD type person, that was really, really difficult for me. And I got tired of the go-to of eating just a salad every day. So I was never quite satisfied, and so started looking for other things to eat. And so I started going vegan again. And vegan for the first time, not again. I went vegan from the raw vegan diet. And I was vegan for many years. And throughout all those years, I kept getting outbreaks. So there was vegan did not do anything for me personally. I'm sure that other people will probably do very well on a vegan diet, and perhaps can limit their outbreaks to a great extent. And hey, the reason I'm here is to talk about my path. And if there are others out there who were vegan or tried vegan and it wasn't working for them, or they had other health issues that the vegan diet wasn't compatible with, excuse me, which pretty much was probably part of my problem with the herpes. So I'm not here to put down any other diet, and I'm not here to do that. It's just that after, well, after, I don't know, I guess it was probably 12 years ago when I started getting these really big outbreaks again. I mean, huge outbreaks. And I suffered intensely for 8 months. Couldn't eat. Everything was blended. All my meals were blended. And, I was drinking through a straw, my meals. I was on the classic Greek diet, the Mediterranean diet. We had, fish and meat and chicken and vegetables and lentils and the whole thing. And I was there doing all of that. But I couldn't eat anything because my entire mouth was crusted over. It was awful. I don't wish that on anyone. And from there, I found, after doing all the medications, all the antivirals for months, homeopathic medications, which also didn't seem to help, herbal things and tinctures and this and that, and it was exhausting. It was exhausting. I was stuck in the house. I could not go out. I would not go out looking like that. And it was horrible. So I came across online the raw vegan diet. It had nothing to do with herpes. It had to do with diabetes and heart problems and things like that. Dr. Gabriel Cushins did an experiment on 10 people suffering with diabetes and many, many other issues. I think 8 of them remained, or 7 or 8 of them remained for the month-long trial. And many of them were cured. The diet had helped them immensely. And I thought, well, I have got nothing to lose, right? So I tried it. And did it work? Yeah, felt great. And after 1 month, I got another outbreak 2 months later, but it was just right on the rim of my lip here, and it was great. And then I didn't get another one all summer. I was back outside. I had a lot of energy. I felt great. I felt great. And then when the fall came around and I was getting a bit frustrated and tired. I had to eat all the time. I was always eating, always nibbling and munching and eating. And even when I had big meals, a few hours, starting to have a hard time. So I went vegan, started eating my breads again, because I bake my own bread. And there, the outbreaks started happening again. And no matter what I did, I even went back raw vegan, but I still kept getting outbreaks and I couldn't figure out why. I honestly don't know why. But I did. And then for years I was vegan, and no, it did not cure my herpes in any way, shape, or form. So that's a little bit of my history. I went through the entire spectrum, and I ended up years later, 3 years ago, on the carnivore diet as my last hope. And it was my last hope. And so, so these comments of, carnivore diet is completely counter to what one with herpes should be eating, should be alkaline vegan to completely cure herpes, cure in all capital letters, not uric acid meat. Well, it didn't cure my herpes. Did the carnivore diet cure my herpes? No, I still have herpes. They're just not coming out. They're not expressing themselves on me as long as I'm carnivore. When I'm carnivore, I don't get herpes. When I go off the carnivore diet, I get herpes. I don't know why that's happening. I have some ideas, but I cannot definitely say why. So advising the carnivore diet is wild for HSV alkaline. Raw is the way to go to heal it completely, to kill it. You can't kill the herpes virus. You can just put it into hibernation and just go about your life. And if the vegan diet works for you and that's working, great. Do that. Do that. Do what works for you. And then when something stops working, search around and figure out how you can alter things, something that maybe you need to leave out and then add something else in. Who knows? It's a continual process. There's no one little red pill or blue pill that you can take that will just fix everything. It's not going to work. And I believe this also on the carnivore diet. I only have 3 years in. We'll see after a few more years if I'm still alive, still here, still healthy, and still happy. Then we'll talk about how I feel about the carnivore diet then. So I did a got herpes, eat meat short. Try the carnivore diet to reduce outbreaks. And because that's what worked for me. And no, I do not have medical explanations. I cannot prove anything. I don't have a research lab anywhere that are doing specific tests and research of people going carnivore and people being keto and people being vegan and people being raw vegan and how that all works. But the carnivore diet is an elimination diet, and it is the diet that gets rid of carbohydrates for the most part, right? I mean, it's basically a no-carb diet. And perhaps it's the carbohydrates in my system that is spiking and allowing the herpes virus to come out. I also had markers when I went in 3 years ago and did my blood tests. There's video up on my YouTube channel talking about this. I went and got blood tests to make sure that, I was going to get everything set up, because I was just starting out on the carnivore diet, and I was scared. I thought it was going to kill me. And so I went in and got blood tests to find out where my levels were, so I could, keep an eye on things. Well, the marker for thyroid, Hashimoto's thyroid disease, was at 2,500, when it should be the highest level was 60. Like, if you had 60 and over, you should go to an endocrinologist and get yourself checked. And I was at 2,500, well, 2,495.5, right? And that just blew me away. And I was like, oh, so you mean to tell me that all these years, the reason why I have such bad outbreaks is because possibly my thyroid isn't working well? And so that's what happened. Did I go to an endocrinologist and everything? And no, I did not. I said, well, I'm just going to keep on the carnivore diet, and I'll go later on and let's see what happens. I thought that I would probably go in a few months, but after the few months, so many different things changed and brought me back to my 30-year-old body and not this 60-year-old body, that I couldn't believe it. And I have videos on that as well, like the 21 things that changed by going carnivore. You guys, it was mind-blowing. I did not believe any of this. I thought, when I started carnivore, I thought it was going to kill me. It scared me. But I was in such bad shape with these full body herpes outbreaks of the 4 different types of herpes that I would get, 8 times a year. That's like what? Every month and something little, like every month and a half or something, I would have this full outbreak, which took at least 3 weeks to heal up. I was tired. So I thought, well, I'll just do it and see what happens. When I went back, because I felt so great, I didn't go and get that level checked. And 3 years later, this past spring, I went back and got that Hashimoto's thyroid level checked, the anti-TPO, it's called something else in English, the reverse TPO, something like that, marker for that, and it was 64. So from 2,500, I brought it down to 64. In my worldview, that is healthy. That's something that works. And I did nothing else. I took no medications. I didn't do any special teas or this or that or the other thing. I was just carnivore. And okay. So where have I been? Yeah. As you can see, again, right, I'm an artist. So I have this art channel. It's called Vita Evenson Art. If any of you out there want to learn how to paint, I'm your gal. Will happily teach you everything I know about what I have learned so far in how to put a painting together. I use oil paint. So if you're interested, come on over and check me out there. So because that channel is growing, I was focusing there. I am focused there. I do a live chat every single morning, well, Monday through Friday, morning musings in the studio, where I talk about what I'm going to do with my day and the thoughts that are coming, because painting for me, this creative energy that we all carry, and how you are painting, where you are on your painting journey, the problems that you're having are also the blockages and problems that you may be having in your daily life. At least it is for me. So that's kind of my philosophy around art and painting. So a couple of other comments about a Mr. Obalar, and I have no idea who that is, but somebody who cures herpes, so I'm not interested. Oh, thank you. You're such an inspiration. See, thank you for the encouragement and giving us hope. Well, boy, I just read this comment. See, I have been not on my Carnivore channel for a while, and this was what, 13 days ago. I thank you very much. The question is, can you share how long it took on Carnivore before you started seeing a change in outbreaks? Okay, yes. 6 months. It took me 6 months before I really stopped getting outbreaks. And then if I would get an outbreak, it would be like a little tiny, I mean, really tiny. Yeah, I used to get them on my arms too. I got them everywhere. It would be like 1 or 2 little blisters, like nothing more. Like my mouth, I haven't had herpes on my mouth since for 3 years. I mean, I just don't get them. I would get them on my neck, my body, my genitals, my fingers. Haven't had them on my toes for a very, very long time. And I had a very, very strange outbreak on my legs another time last year when I thought that I could start eating lettuce again. And I did it for 5 days and then suffered for a month with a huge, I mean, on my legs of all places. Come on, you guys. I don't know if it was something else, but it sure as heck reacted like herpes, exactly the same way. The itching, the little bumps, more little bumps, this spreading thing, blisters, oozing, scabbing, and the whole dang thing on my legs. That was freaky. So yeah, it took me about 6 months. And because I was so tired of these outbreaks, of my life being locked up in the house, couldn't go outside. I wouldn't go outside. Who would want to go outside when your whole body is, your neck, your chest, your belly? I mean, come on. I could hardly put clothes on when I'm going to go outside and go shopping. No, that's not me. And like I mentioned, I don't like conflict, and I don't want to go places and have people like staring at me like, you know how they do that? You're talking to them and they're just like staring at your lip like, what the heck is that? Ugh. Yeah, no, no. So yeah, you hope to hear from me. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. See, I read these and think, oh, why have I not been here? I'm going to tell you why I haven't been here. I have a total sense of calm that I never had. Oh. I found you by Googling the possibility of carnivore having a positive effect on herpes. I just had a sense after being on it a few weeks that it could because it should strengthen the immune system. Yeah, that's exactly what happened with me. It strengthened my immune system. And not only did you check out that video where I talk about the 21 different things that happen? There's more than 21, but everything changed. Everything. Oh, how sweet. Oh, gosh. So now I feel like I'm going on a guilt trip for not being here. Anxiety levels have nearly disappeared. Yes, I had that too. Anxiety disappears. People who think that they have like panic attacks, I mean, I'm not going to say won't have them anymore, but everybody that I have talked to who used to have panic attack or anxiety and deep anxiety, don't get them anymore. It doesn't happen anymore. Why? But it's true. It is so true. And here's a comment. You guys just go into the comments of the various videos and see what these people are saying. Oh, please keep them up. That's why I'm here, because I will keep them up. All right. Okay. This is great. Thank you. I haven't had an outbreak in so long. My symptoms weren't as intense as yours, and I didn't go carnivore to stop the outbreaks, but I have noticed that I haven't had an outbreak in a long time. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Ah, that is, so I'm not the only one. I am not the only one. See, proof, you guys. Check out the carnivore diet. It will cure many, many things. Will it cure your herpes? No, you will still have the herpes virus. It will be in you, living with you, your best pals. They ain't going anywhere, but you don't need to suffer from outbreaks. Okay, so I have been thoroughly encouraged by this person. They wrote this comment a month ago. How sad. Another person saying, interesting, I may have to give this a shot. Having back-to-back HSV2 outbreaks for 5 months now. Oh God, I know. I'm so sorry. Do it. Try it. There's nothing to lose. Nothing bad is going to happen. Do it for 3 months and see how you feel. You can do it for a month. And when I started, I thought I'll just do it for a month and see what happens. And boy, was I surprised. Like totally blown away by how great I felt. I was still getting outbreaks, but not nearly as bad. And they just tapered down, until I got about 6 months in, and that was it. I had a little tiny, just a little tiny blister here, and it actually went away in 3 days. It didn't actually erupt. Wow. So all of these comments, my happy attitude and transparency. Yeah, I do. I am kind of transparent, and I am open, and I'm going to talk about everything that I know. Again, I'm not a doctor. You guys can go check out with your doctors and things like that, but leave a door open for alternative lifestyles. Okay, leave a door open, because a lot of things can happen in the more alternative world. And yeah, let's face it, going carnivore is kind of stepping into the alternative world and getting out of the conventional world. So to answer the question why I disappeared and why I haven't been here. So I mentioned again that I have this art channel, which has been growing and developing, and I've been focused there. First of all, I didn't have 50 subscribers and I couldn't do a live stream. For me, live streams are, I love them because I can just be me. I don't have to edit out all this stuff. You can talk to me. And I enjoy it. I enjoy that greatly. But the real reason is because my character is the harmonizing type. I want everybody to be happy. I don't want to create any conflict. I don't want to be in the forefront holding the flag and saying, everybody follow me. I don't want to do that. It's not really who I am. And stepping out and talking about how the carnivore diet has essentially I'm not going to say cured. It's the wrong word because I'm not cured. I still have my herpes pals, but I don't get outbreaks anymore because of the carnivore diet and nothing else, just the carnivore diet. It's really hard for me to just step out and then everybody here in the village that I live in on this tiny Greek island is going to find out. All of my high school friends, and oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've been in high school. but, but all these people I know are going to find out. And will I still be accepted by them? And of course, if I'm not, I don't want them as my friends anyways, right? So, but still, it's that I'm scared, you guys. It's frightening. And I think what was really helpful this morning when I opened up the channel and saw these negative comments was that, in fact, they didn't bother me. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. I was vegan. I was raw vegan. I know. I was raw vegan and telling the entire world that they had to go vegan. If they didn't go vegan, yeah, I did that. I'm guilty. So here I am with a carnivore diet telling all of you that I don't know if it's going to help you or not with your herpes, but I suspect it will because it takes away the inflammation in the body. It's basically a ketogenic diet. It's just on the extreme level. So you're basically, it's keto. And we all know that keto, being on a keto diet, the keto diet is not some fad diet. It's been around for 100 years. And it has helped many, many people, especially people with autoimmune issues. And I highly support that. I do. The carnivore diet is just getting rid of everything. You're just eating the meat, water, salt, fats. Gotta eat the fats. Gotta eat a lot of fats. And I have a coffee in the morning. That's pretty much what I do. And I get to drink like plain soda, like no sweetened anything, nothing with any flavors. It's basic soda water, which I like. I make a cream soda with heavy cream, which I love. And because I don't eat sweets anymore, it's fine. So why did I get this herpetic whitlow outbreak? What happened? Right? So for the past few months, my daughters have come back and they are living in the house. And so I am cooking. And this is how I cook food for them and my husband. I cook and I don't taste it. Or I cook and I put it in my mouth to taste and then run to the sink and spit it out. So I don't swallow it and I don't put it in my body, but I'm cooking food and I have to taste it. But as time goes on and you're tasting and checking the meal, it awakens cravings. And I'm really good about that. I don't just start eating and nibbling on things like that. But because I hadn't had an outbreak and I can't remember the last time I had an outbreak, I thought, well, I wonder if I could, try a little bit, go ketovore, like heavily carnivore with a little tiny bit of other things, right? And so I did that for, I guess, about 5 days. And what are we talking about here? A fork full of, let's say, spinach, plain spinach with just salt on it, nothing else. That. And this is probably the real reason, not so much the spinach, but it's watermelon season here in Greece and Here in this area of Greece, we have absolutely the most delicious watermelon that I've ever had in my entire life, and I'm 60, and I've had a lot of watermelon. So so I have been eating too much watermelon. I know watermelon is low in carbs. So, I think like a cup of watermelon has 17 carbohydrates in it, something like that. In Greece here, it's a classic meal where you have a big thing of watermelon, a big slice of watermelon, feta cheese, yum, and bread. And it's a meal. People serve that as a meal in the summertime, and it's great. Well, nobody in the family eats bread anymore, thank goodness. Uh, uh, but watermelon and feta cheese is a daily thing on the table. And it's my number one weakness. And I've been eating too much of it. And so that might be the reason why I got this herpetic whitlow, because I started itching and there it was. And now because I continued nibbling on watermelon, I'm getting another outbreak here. And it's tiny. It's tiny. Like, it's not like all my hands, right? And I'm like flipping out because it's itching so much. You all know what that's like, right? I mean, it's not on your fingers, it's on your body, it's on your mouth, it's on your genitals. Oh my God, right? It's awful. It's hardly anything, but I got an outbreak. So is it the spinach, or is it the watermelon, or is it a combination of the two? I don't really care. As of today, I am back carnivore, strict carnivore, to rebalance myself, because if in fact I have Hashimoto's and I'm eating watermelon, even though it has few calories in it, carbohydrates, it's sweet, right? It's shooting up, and it's probably bothering my thyroid. And I'm imagining that that's what the reason is. So yes, carnivore. And there are people out there that Dr. Jordan Peterson, who is carnivore, his daughter Michaela, who healed many areas of her life and her health that she had since she was a kid. And, that was kind of the spark that said, well, I'll try it. And I did. And it feels great. And I'm healthy. So what is the plan from now on? The plan is, now that I can live stream, as long as I've got 50 subscribers, if there's one of you out there that I can cheer on, if there's one of you out there that needs support, that needs a helping hand, that needs a balancing between this and that and the other thing, and your thoughts and your fears and all of that, I'm like your best friend, and I can help you through this. You can try it, and I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to work for anybody, but I really do suspect that it will. And if your outbreaks are diminishing, from mine took 6 months, somebody else, it might take longer. For others, they might disappear right away. That's something that, you have to kind of come to terms with. But if you start the carnivore diet and feel a heck of a lot better, stay on it. Do you need to drink alcohol? No, you don't. I have a friend. Hi, I know if you're listening to this up there in the northern countries of Europe, right? I know that you're you're young, right? Young people want to go out and have some wine, a beer, this or that. Do you need to do it to have a good time? No, of course not. You don't. And it's probably not the best thing to do if you're going to go on a carnivore diet. So if you can, at least for 1 month, get rid of everything. If you want to keep your coffee with no sugar, go ahead, right? I would support that, because that's what I do. I have my coffee. If the coffee begins to bother me, it's out the window. The next day, it's gone. I won't look at it again. So, you guys, thank you so much for coming and listening to me, my first live stream on this little YouTube channel. Hopefully, we can get this channel to grow. Hopefully, we can get a support group and a community happening here that we can all just kind of come together and search out various answers, search out ways that will work best for you. I'm here. I've been through it. I've been through everything from raw vegan all the way to carnivore. Every single diet out there, I've been there. And I've tried it. And I have some experience with all this. I've been having really, really bad outbreaks for years. And for these past 3 years, look at me. I mean, I can wear and I can wear my shorts and I can go out barefoot and I can be in the sun and I feel great. I sleep well. And I can't support the carnivore diet enough for people with herpes, especially. It's an elimination diet, but it's a satiating elimination diet. You can eat meat every single day and feel satisfied. And that's the important thing, that you don't need to be like in my vegan years, my raw vegan years in the kitchen all day long, creating meals for 2 days or the next day or 3 days down and preparing things and putting it all together and eating 5 times a day. I eat once a day, sometimes twice a day, depends on the day. I do intermittent fasting just because, naturally, I don't need to eat. So I wake up in the morning, I do my day, and around, I don't know, after, it depends on the day, right? Some days I do intermittent fasting, and I start eating around 1 p.m., noon, 1 p.m. Other days I go until 5 p.m., and then from 5 to 9 p.m., and then, the next day. And I don't know, so far, so good. To say that everything's perfect, no, I'm not going to say that. And I'll get into a complication in my sleep pattern, which is happening. Could be the menopause years, could be just something that most people go through. I seem to be having not getting enough magnesium. I can get more magnesium through the carnivore diet by eating the heart of the animal, but it's hard to get. It's not a common thing that we find here in Greece, people eating beef hearts. So I have to find a solution to that. But I'm going to do a video on that whole, the leg cramping thing when you get older. If there's anybody else out there who has leg cramps at night during sleep, it's an odd thing, right? Like Charlie horses, right? We call them Charlie horses in the States. I'd love to hear your experience with that and what the possible, some of the possible things. I'm assuming that I have, because I'm 3 years carnivore, that maybe there's something missing from my diet like magnesium. So I am taking magnesium supplements, which help. They do help. But I am the type of person who wants to get everything from their food. And I believe I can get pretty much everything from my food. That's one of the reasons why I started eating a little bit of spinach again, was for the leg cramps. So I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You guys, I've been here for 44 minutes. It's time to get off. I really appreciate you listening to me and hearing me out. Leave a question. leave a comment, help this channel grow. There are many, many others out there who suffer from herpes and want to just tone it all down, basically getting rid of them. But I can't say cure. Cure is not the word. But, you know, living a normal life without the herpes explosions on your body. You still have your herpes, they just won't express themselves in your body because you will have all the nutrients that you need just by being carnivore. So talk to me, let me know what you think. Ask me anything. If you disagree with what I'm saying, that's fine. I'm listening to you as well. So you guys, take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And let me know, right? Just, yeah, let me know what you think. All right. Thanks so much.